Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really focusing about being an entrepreneur, starting something because you've seen your parents do this repeatedly, and you've seen their skills, and you just feel that this is where your passion lies. We're talking about the challenges of taking on a business that your parents have been so passionate about, to taking it on your own and making it successful. Well, my guest is in the process of doing that. Her name is Patricia Molina. She is the Miami-based Spanish-born entrepreneur and has for many years been a shoemaker. Are you into shoes? This conversation is really truly about the spirit, the business, and the hard craftsmanship that goes into making shoes, pain and challenges that you have to overcome to make the business successful. Under her belt, and she has a number of practices and businesses. Growing up in the footwear industry, her parents owned the biggest shoe factory in Alege, where she learned her tricks of the trade industry and demands and the creativity process that goes with the brand of making shoes. She intends on creating shoes that are made with sustainable materials and production to keep your toes for years to come. Her company, Blondish, was formed in 2019 to develop the perfect footwear for a cosmopolitan and fashionista woman who wants to feel comfortable without giving up the style. Blondish luxury shoe is designed for women by women, with the intention to create stylish luxury footwear that is as comfortable and as active. Women out there, I encourage you to listen to this conversation. It's all about finding the right balance, and not just about her luxury footwear, but also about the business, overcoming the challenge, the pain that goes into making shoes. We all want to wear a good pair of shoes, but at what price, at what cost, at what damage do we do it to our feet? Let's meet our amazing guest, Patricia, as she shares her story about the journey and business of making shoes. Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Painless Universal, a conversation with myself and Welsh. You know, during the London Fashion Week, one of the highlights of it for me is that there's lots of, new brands that are coming out and showcasing their new collection. Today's collection is talking about shoes. If you're a shoe lover, this conversation is truly for you, because my guest here will be talking about her love for shoes, how that stemmed from, and what that means to her in making shoes. Why she feels that in this day and age, more and more women need to wear shoes that not just adorable, but shoes that make you comfortable, and shoes that make you want to go out at night and party, but have to have both balance. She'll be telling us about her journey. I'm so excited. Meet my wonderful guest, Patricia, as she shares her short story. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, Patricia. I'm very, very well. I'm super delighted that you've joined me today, because your story, I saw it in London Fashion Week this year, 2022,
Yeah.
February collection, Fashion Week. And I saw what you do with the shoes, and I couldn't believe that, this is so creative, really beautiful, nice,
Thank
nice,
you.
nice design. I'm really impressed that you came up with this. But before we get started in any way, can you tell me, who are you?
Pues I'm Patricia. I'm a shoe designer, and I love shoes so much. I grew up in the industry of the shoe. I grew up in the shoe industry. Um, I love fashion from forever, so I wanted to launch my own line.
Mm.
I decided to do it because I like to keep alive my childhood, my memories, and my family together.
Oh,
So,
wow. Oh,
mm.
that's really good. When you say that you wanted to keep your memories and your family together, can you tell me about your background? What was your background like? When you were a little girl, what was it like growing up?
Mm. Okay, my in the past, my family started to work very young. They didn't even go to school. They start working in the shoe industry. So my mom started to do shoes, handmade shoes, at the age of 13 years old.
Wow.
So she's very, very artisan. She's really talented. And my memories is like growing up with her, next to her. She was in the sewing machine doing the shoes, and I was playing next to her. No time for anything, because now I understand that it's really hard industry and takes your time forever. And my time for playing as a kid was my mom singing song next to me, singing together while she was sewing, or I was like, or she gave me a piece of leather and I was like stitching the leather. Like I was thinking that I was doing shoes, no? And I was really happy about it. Or drawing shoes, and my mom was saying always, okay, I'll do that shoe tomorrow for you, and you're gonna wear your own shoes and stuff like that. So for me, it's like the most beautiful thing I could never do in my life. I think I grew up in that industry. I mean, I grew up to make shoes.
And when when your mother used to make these shoes, did you used to try them on and play around? Because I remember when I was a little girl, I used to try my mom. I used to stick in my mom's bedroom, take her shoes, and my sister and I would take it and would play girl. Did you do those with the shoes your mom made?
Of course, of course. Actually, I was doing that a lot, and also what I love it to do was in the mini factory that we have. My dad used to have a really big factory that we have to split it in different locations. So I remember my mom was in charge of one of them, and I was trying everything on. She was really mad because imagine that I don't pay attention. I was putting the shoes in the dust and everything, and my mom was like, okay, every shoe that it was like mistake or anything like that, they don't produce them. So they put it away, and I was playing with that, and I was putting shoes or everything to my toys and all that. It was super nice. I mean,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Did
Mhm.
they have a business? I mean, there's one thing to make shoes, but was your parents making the shoes to sell it on as a business, or were they making it the shoes because they had their own business?
No, they've been working all their life for another brands. My dad, at the age of 18, he opens his own factory.
Oh, wow. Mm,
Yeah.
wow.
So they started to do shoes like kind of for men at the beginning, kind of more sporty, like campers, Panama Jack, this kind of shoe for men. And my dad is really visionary that he started to do things like putting the dust back. He was one of the beginners person that he did it.
Ooh.
They put it like paper between the shoes in the boxing. My dad is actually is a brain. He was is really creative. He was designing his own shoes. Obviously, the other part he did the cutting and all that. But yeah, I mean, he built his own brand, and it's really amazing for me now. But because before was no social media, was nothing like that. My mom and my dad was carrying bags with the samples to all the shoe trades around the world in Asia, Italy, everywhere. And they sold a lot of quantity of shoes. For me now, I feel like, wow, now that we have access to everything, it's so much difficult.
It is unbelievable because you
Yeah,
have more access, but things are still very, very difficult.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I always wonder how they did it because your parents seem very successful people who thrive
Mhm.
in many many ways. But what is fascinating is that you have a big passion for shoes. You love
Yeah,
shoes. I think
yeah.
just seeing your parents doing all of this has made you have your own passion for shoes since you were a very a young child. I know your parents own their own factories in making their own shoes. When did you then discover that as you started to grow up, when did you then discover this is something I want to do?
I always wanted to do it because since I was a child, I draw my shoes and everything. But my mom was like, Patricia, don't do shoes. Baby, it's so much. It's a really difficult industry. Do whatever you want in fashion, but don't do shoes. Imagine, because it's really hard. And I say like, Mom, I don't wanna do sewing and everything. I wanna design. And my mom was like, baby, but things have changed. It's very difficult. So I study fashion. I study personal shopper, image advisor, and all that, but I was like missing something. And I like it to go in New York to see windows and buy shoes and spend a lot of money in shoes because I love it. I appreciate the industry. So it's not painful for me to spend a big quantity of money on shoes, no? So, but I was like, I'm not doing I'm not born for this. I love go shopping for people and make people happy, but I was born to do shoes. And
Yeah.
I knew it. So I said to my mom, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And my mom was like, okay, we're here for you. I'm with you. And I said, I know. So yeah, I knew it. I always knew it. And I was like, I don't wanna die not doing what I love because I know I was born to do shoes.
But when you look back and now you've started doing it, before we get into your shoe design, what would you think that your mom was protecting you from when she meant don't do shoes, like you could do other things? What do you think the challenges? Because I think shoes, I don't know. I don't know what challenge there will be with shoes. Shoes is the same as the jacket, as the trousers. But your mom,
Not
who's
at
in the
all.
industry, must have seen something. What do you think she saw that she didn't want you to go into that industry?
What was the problem with a shoe, for example,
Yeah.
is that you have how many sizes from 35 to 42.
Mhm.
You have to produce 7 or 8 patterns different that they have to fit in your foot perfectly because you you cannot walk, you cannot carry the weight of your body, you cannot do anything if you're not comfortable, right? So to develop a shoe line is so much harder than do bags, that do jackets, that do whatever, because it's so much longer the process. I don't know how many people works in a pair, maybe 50 people, 60 people.
Mm.
It's so many pieces that you try on and I don't know how much you can spend in money and time in each sample until it's perfect.
Are you
It's
joking?
unbelievable. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. I mean, it's like for me, the most difficult lines to develop is shoes or underwear. You
Mhm.
cannot have a bra that doesn't
Yeah.
fit you well. It doesn't look well, and you don't feel well. You feel really uncomfortable, or panties or
Yeah.
whatever. You have to feel comfortable. The same with the shoes. A bag, it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit you, right? You don't
No.
need to.
Yeah. It
A
doesn't matter.
jacket is 4 sizes.
No,
But shoes,
uh-huh.
it's really, really difficult. I
I
didn't even know. I knew it, but I didn't even know how difficult it is to develop a beautiful shoe comfortable.
no wonder you're
It's a
talented.
challenge.
Yeah, no wonder you're talented. I see where you get your talent from because you get your talent by understanding things that people who say they want to go in shoes because they've seen X making so much money from it, thinking, and they're not realizing that shoe takes so much from you. It's not just a dream, it's a reality. It's something that you're making someone comfortable. They have to think about the body. This is what where we put our whole weight is on our feet. So we have to make sure everything is comfortable. This is
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I just didn't think about it, Patricia, like this.
My mom always told me,
Mm.
don't invest in anything if you don't want to, but invest in your shoes. They carry the weight of your body from forever.
Oh gosh, this is amazing. Yes, it's
Yeah,
absolutely true. I
yeah.
mean, so you have this love for shoe, and you felt this with your mom. You've watched your mom grow, doing it, her hard work. So you started, you said, okay, I want to go on this path. When you were going on this path, because I can see that you're very fashionable as well, I'm sure you were not just thinking shoes, you were thinking also the fashion side of the being a woman, what women want. Tell me how did your brand come up? How did you come up with your beautiful brand called Blondish, which was created in 2019?
Well, I wanted to do a line that is made for a woman that is cosmopolitan. They have life. They want to unstoppable. No, that
Yeah, unstoppable. Yes.
yeah, that you want to do everything and you want to look good and you want to look dressed.
Yes.
So I did this line for to feel woman nice in any occasion, in anywhere, and with any occasion, because we're all different and we are comfortable with different things.
Mhm.
So I was thinking like, okay, we have to cover all these parts of the line. Yeah. Mm.
So after deciding when you created the book, how difficult was it to turn your passion into reality, into creating your beautiful line where you start to showcase your shoes? How difficult was it?
The difficulty of a new brand of shoes that I have is that it's very complicated, because the problem here is that I do shoes high quality. I do shoes that they look beautiful, but of course, bigger brands, they are a little bit expensier than me, because they have the brand already and because they spend a lot of much more money on marketing than I do. So their shoes are maybe above $300.
Mm.
But my shoes are made from the same hands. So yeah, because the factory I do my shoes, they have bigger brands that I'm not gonna mention, but it's the same hands, the same leathers and the same materials. So the problem here is, as a new brand, is that you have to find your market, your target of people that they value the quality and not the branding. Because the challenge here to put your brand in the market is that people don't want to spend that money if they can have a pair of,
Yes. Cheaper or more expensive, either ways.
yeah, because they want to have a brand instead of quality, for example, no? Or it's really difficult to be in the market until people appreciate your job.
Yeah.
You need to have, because that's what I learned, you need to have a really good PR to explain all these things to
Mm.
people understand, educate about product and about quality
Yeah, absolutely.
to get into the market.
Yeah, I think that's the big miss. Because for me, I don't look for what the brand is. I look for what's the best out there. What would I wear that's stylish, fashionable, comfortable, and all of that. And the person takes into consideration the sustainability of their planet
Mm.
as well. So these are what I look for when I look to buy things, is the quality of it as well, because
Yeah.
we want longevity. And these are hard to find. How do you communicate that to people now? Because as much as if I'm on the other side, because I'm the buyer, like I'm a buyer, I like if I'm to shop, I like to find these things. But one of the things I would say to you, these are hard to find. These like I think it's also to do with the marketing. What can you do to help that people are more aware of brands like you?
Mira, as a buyer as well,
Mm.
I always support emerging brands because they really take care of every detail. Because obviously after you are in the market as well, but more at the beginning, because we, the buyers, the stores, retailers, everything, they look at us like every detail that we do. So I get really happy helping emerging brands because I believe in the quality. They take care of this.
Mm.
It's important to support what you do. And if you want quality, it's important the marketing, but it's important to research. But the problem here is that not many people have education for that. We are educated in another ways in social media, and we just want something that we saw in others,
Yes.
not because it has a meaning or a joke behind of that. So
And
the way to find them is to search for emerging brands and get to know them.
yeah, and it's really difficult because of there's just so much noise. So even if you find them, you never know which one is the good ones and not the the bad ones. It's hard to really sort out. So I guess people tend to get comfortable with what they know, even though there's better out there and at cheap, affordable prices. But it's also just it's helping them sort the noises out because there's just so much noise. So many brands that claim they're good, but when you wear them, just a disaster. So I'm very
Mm.
happy that we're having this conversation because you come from a place of experience, you've seen your parents do it, and it's just changed. How do you
Yeah.
want a cosmopolitan and a fashionista woman to feel when she wears your shoe?
You know, happy, confident, and comfortable that they don't have to put flags on the back, in the back to change after 30 minutes walking on the streets or having fun or in your own wedding. It's so crazy that we have shoes for a while and then we have to change for comfortable shoes. So I want them to feel comfortable from the time that they're leaving home and they come back home later, and stunning. I wanted to be proud of them. I want, my goal here is as well to, when you have like 3, 5, 10 pair of shoes, but you pick always the ones that you're comfortable.
Absolutely, yes.
That's my goal.
That is really the best goal to achieve because it's true. You can have as many shoes as you can, but at the end of the day, you always go for that comfortable one, the one that will get you through the
Yeah.
day and bring you back in one piece. So your goal is also to create shoes that are made with sustainable materials and production to keep you on your toes for years to come. How difficult is it achieving comfort and sustainable? How difficult is it with the balance in that?
It's really complicated because the lines of the shoe, you have to make them a little bit wider, or you have to make them to put them 3 times more foam in the insole. So you have to play a lot with the lines because otherwise it looks like very classy or very. And I like really high heels. I really like a strong stiletto that you die when you see them.
Yeah.
So the difficult to do that is you have to try many times. And for example, I do a shoe that is more close. The line of the shoe is closer. And once we do that, trying on, we do another line and we go behind the line. We cut it. We do it again. Then okay, we can do it a little bit lower. So we do it again. Maybe we do a shoe like 10 times before we take the risk of the super stunning line and comfort.
Right. So it's almost like you have to keep trying until you absolutely get it perfectly right. That's really good.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the pains or challenges you face as a designer? I know you've talked about it, but what are some of the pains you face as a designer who's emerging into a world that is so competitive? Like your mom said, I don't want you to go and choose. What are some of the challenges you face now as a designer, Patrice?
And the most, as I said before, uh, it's complicated to get the respect of your job, the respect of what you do to be in the market, because people want brands as as fast. The most of the people, not everyone, no, it's a lot of people with knowledge and the fashion. The people that who has fashion and they wear fashion and they have passion and knowledge, that's your customer. Otherwise, to get in the market with the other ones, you have to gain the respect. You have to earn it because it's difficult. I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what's your hope for your business? My final question, what's your hope for your business in a few years' time, and how could people buy your shoes?
My hope and my wish and my goal is that I'm walking on the street and I'm seeing people wearing my shoes. People that I don't know, and they buy it, something that I draw in a piece of paper and I develop with so much hard work, and they buy it and I see them on the street
And
occasionally.
and it's doable, I think. And we're in right now. If anyone wants access to your shoes, where can they find it? How can they buy it?
We are online and very soon in another e-commerce, like in a month time, in few of them. I will post that in social media. But right now in blondish.com and yeah, in another e-commerce and next season in the stores.
Oh my gosh, I really wish you all the best. I know I saw pictures of your shoes. I can't wait to try them on because they're really amazing. And I love that you're such a fashionista yourself, so you kind of understand what is it that women truly want in terms of shoes. Yes, we want it to look pretty, but at the same time, we want things that are comfortable and relaxing and nice to work with, something that we could wear all day and still wear it again the next day and not feel like this shoe is
Exactly.
dirty. Any final words before we I let go of you?
Exactly. This is what I want, and this is my goal. And yeah, I think I have a really nice feedback from people. I have many emails like, I can't find these shoes where I can find it, or I'm from here, you sit here and everything. And I have tears sometimes because it's really nice that people takes time to find you and connect with you because they really want that shoe.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
That's
That's
really
amazing.
phenomenal. That's really good. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for your time. I really appreciate this.
thank
Thanks.
you.